it's Maria here from hockeytrainingpro.com, and I had a great question from Trevor about, he was showing me just a flexibility routine that he did throughout the day at work, and it was cool because he's like, a lot of people I work with, they scoot outside for 10 to 15 minutes for a smoke break a couple times a day, so I actually use that time and I just do some quick stretches at my office and then get back to work. So I thought that was a really neat, way to think of it. It's just both you're feeding your addiction. One is a nicotine addiction, the other one is a hockey addiction. So I really liked it. And Trevor's a goalie, but one of the exercises he showed, he wanted to stretch his IT band, but the exercise he showed, I think, put a little bit more stretch on his glute or his piriformis. So I told him I'd just make him a quick video and show him an nice IT band stretch. So the IT band is Iliotibial Band. It's sort of starts at the top of your hip bone in a pretty broad actual muscle called the tensor fasciae lata. But then it builds into just a connective tissue sheath that comes all the way down, crosses your knee, and attaches here. And it can get very, very tight, and it can also get painful. It can kind of rub along some of the bony prominences on the outside of your knee and get very irritated and be really sore. So it's a great idea to stretch it, and then I'm going to actually show you another little connective tissue device that I use. But basically, if I want to stretch my left IT band, I'm going to cross my right foot over my left, and then I want to turn away from the side that I'm stretching. So I'm going to turn away from my left hip, and then I'm going to bend down towards sort of the inside of my left ankle here. And I feel a stretch right along the outside, a little bit closer to my knee. That's where I personally feel it. So if I want to stretch the right side, I cross my left foot over my right, I keep my shoulders up, I turn away from this side, and then I bend forward like that to feel the stretch. A common mistake, I think, is people kind of turn and bend at the same time, and I don't really feel anything there. So I prefer if you turn first and then bend forward, kind of trying to almost keep a neutral spine, even though it's sort of impossible to do. I'm not trying to round way over. I'm just trying to turn and then stick this hip out to the side. So places you could feel it here, anywhere along the outside or the outside of the knee. Places I don't really want you to feel it in your back. It's not meant to be a back stretch. So if you're running out of room here or you just don't have the position right and you're feeling a stretch in your back, that's not really what we're going for. Trevor also asked me about this little tool. It's called the stick. And I get them here in Canada through the Running Room. They have a pretty good website, and they sell them in the stores. They come in different sizes, so some are like that long. This is one of the short ones. The longer they are, the more expensive they are. I haven't really found a big benefit of using a bigger one, so I just get the cheap ones. But basically, this is another connective tissue release tool, so like our foam roll or like our lacrosse ball. So you want to again stay off the bony prominences, but we often use it at the Revolution Studio for a warm-up. And when I first started using the stick, I would find knots in my calves, and my calves didn't even feel really bad or tight, but when I did this, I would find real balls of tissue there. And sometimes you just sit on it with pressure until it releases a bit, but now, I don't feel any of that. So we use it on our quads, and again, kind of like the foam roll, we push enough that we feel it, but not, not so much that we're gonna cry our eyes out. But then you can also get on the outside, you can get on your IT band, trying to get right up. You can do it standing as well, just with your foot up on a bench. So that's actually a pretty good tool for self-myofascial release. Again, it fits in your equipment bag really easily, so you can take it to the arena and use it before games or practices. It's called The Stick. If you're in the United States, probably performbetter.com is your best source. They have great functional training equipment. They are dynamite, and their prices are really good too. So Those would be my two resources. In Canada, I'd probably go to the Running Room. I don't know if it's runningroom.ca or runningroom.com, but I did see them on their website. And in the United States, I would go to performbetter.com to check that out. So there's a stretch for your IT band and another little connective tissue release technique. Thanks, gang, and thanks very much for the question, Trevor. This is Maria from hockeytrainingpro.com.